8th episode of another unnamed podcast until I come up with a new name. Still the better version, right? I thought of a name, but then I forgot that shit already, son. But we go. Oh yeah, I gotta bleep these curses in the beginning, right?
Yeah, I mean post-production.
Yeah,
it's not live.
So yeah, we was talking about
pizza.
Yeah, pizza.
Not that kind. Like,
yeah. Why do people keep recommending bad pizza spots in New York?
Because it's just the wrong. It's just certain demographics of people. I'm not gonna say who they are. They don't really have taste buds. It seems to me, or it's just like different things they like compared to others. And then you have tourists and stuff. And it seems to me like one of the last spots I went to, they had so many high ratings, and I'm like being like a fool, like, oh wow, high ratings, cool. And then I went there, and there was at least one tourist in there, and I'm like, oh, the demographic of human that's in this store is like, it's right there on the main street. You know,
who? Any of these pizzerias with these good recommendations, are any of them actually Italian people making the pizza?
I don't know. Like, it's usually so. Like, very often it'll be like so-called Hispanic people there, but then it'll be like an Italian person that's running the place. But recently I had a place where it's like it was an Italian, but it wasn't really great. It was like, so you get it's really like a crapshoot, you know, with where you're gonna get good pizza.
So, I mean, I know my pizza spots to get good pizza from, but I'm not gonna recommend it because I ain't trying to have that flooded crazy.
Like the really good places. I don't know if you know that spot. Can I say it? Where it is?
Yeah, go ahead.
That spot by Penn Station.
What's it called?
Damn, I don't even know.
Sabaros?
You know, it's a mom and pop spot. It's like world famous because it's that good.
Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. We have to look that up.
That's the best spot that I know.
How much is a slice? Like,
it's like $5.
$5 for Sabaros.
No damn Sabaros. It's a mom, but like you could tell, like their ingredients are just different. The way they make it is just different. Okay. It's not bready pizza. It's just enough sauce. It's cooked like they. It's like the perfect combination. My only complaint is that it is a little too salty. Like, they use Parmesan, which is rare. That, like, I don't know, like, you can actually taste the Parmesan. And I was like, wait, do they put Parmesan? I looked it up. Yeah, that one, the second one.
Oh, NYC Pizza Supreme.
Yeah,
I never heard of this spot.
Like how many? And they actually deserve the ratings.
I mean, I'll never go on Google ratings or even Yelp ratings for any of these reviews of these pizzas.
I needed something to go on because I hate going to a place just on a gamble.
Here's where you're gambling, right? Places pay for bots or even pay for reviews to just get reviews put on. You can do that with any business. So
that's true.
Relying on the internet is not a smart move with a business a pizza spot. You got to go and taste it yourself and see if that shit is whack.
That's the only way to know for sure.
Cause you can't take people's reviews on because a lot of people, as we just was the beginning of this conversation, was why people recommending bad pizza spots. Like,
it's just another thing. It's like maybe a lot of these people just don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. They don't. They see. You got to be a certain level of fatness for me to trust you with knowing good food. Because if you're skinny,
it's like they say, never trust a skinny chef.
Yeah, exactly. I don't trust skinny people unless I know you and you've told me, you know, a few spots that was good. Most of the time, I'm not taking no recommendation from nobody. And then people on YouTube, I see like a few YouTube channels that not to badmouth any channel specifically, but I see a few channels that's like a food type of channel where they're big. They might have a magazine or something like that, and they're talking about, oh yeah, the best the best pancakes in New York City or the best. I'm like, yo, y'all going to just these whack regular spots that's in Manhattan maybe or Williamsburg, and they're all of a sudden the best. When you know what? If they was the best, they would be as big as IHOP. IHOP, even though IHOP is not good for you, it's really unhealthy, but they're making stuff that tastes way better than all these other spots. So that's where I'm like, all right, I got my like normal spots to go to. Ray's Pizza, they love to say that's the best pizza in New York, but to me, I'm like, all right, this is good pizza, but this ain't the best. I don't even see why anybody would categorize that as the best, but I don't run with the trend.
I don't remember being too impressed with Ray's, but I guess I got to go to the right one or something. And that's another thing. Like, it really does matter. Like, sometimes, because you never know. Like, if you just go in there and get a slice, it's not necessarily like fresh. It's like it'll be some that they just heat up.
Yeah. I mean,
that can make a huge difference.
Yeah, that does make a huge difference. But then again, you know, if your pizza's slapping, it don't matter if it reheats. Right. You know, it gets to that point. But
and I gotta be honest, like I was saying, like white people, for example, and like different demographics, they have different tastes and stuff. Even with like professional chefs and stuff that I watch, I'll be watching it and it'll be like, you know, some professional chef, and I'm like, that is garbage. What you just made.
like a Michelin star chef.
Yeah, and I'm just like watching you, like the Royal Family chef. I watched some of his videos, and I'm like, bro, he made a roast chicken. This man used like 2 grains of salt. I'm like, bro, he didn't use anything on this chicken.
Nah, that's seasoning for white people. Salt and pepper is seasoning.
I don't even think he used pepper. I literally just think he put salt and and that was.
But you're also talking about the Royal Family chef. That's also another place, which is the UK, which the UK is known for shit food, like
haggis,
yeah,
or hummus or whatever,
whatever they
spotted dick. That's actually a dick. A dish.
Chips and whatever is
fish
their
and
thing.
I think fish and chips. I could mess with that.
Yeah, but they're known for their food is not known for good food. Like they don't.
That's why they had to conquer the world.
Yeah, looking for all spices. And still not using it, right?
Right. In India, and actually, I want to say the national dish in England is chicken tikka masala or something like that, which is like. Doesn't even originate there, or it does originate there, but it was like an Indian person who immigrated there.
And what's that dish like made out of? Like chicken and what?
It's like chicken. It's similar to chicken like butter chicken curry, but it's like it's more like creamy because they put in like yogurt into it, so it'll be like spicy and it's like grilled. There's a lot of spices that go into it, like garam masala.
Sounds like shite.
I made it once. And it slapped when I made it. So, and I went as far as I had to buy like 7 different spices. I marinated it for like a day or 2 or something like that. Yeah, it
you baked this or you fried it? Or?
Damn, how did I make it? I want to say I fried the chicken. Yeah, I want to say I marinated it in that yogurt. It's kind of like fried chicken.
I don't know how hard it is to make some whack ass fried chicken, but you know, when you fry chicken, it normally is gonna just be alright. But you know, that whole you said 7 different spices.
It's a lot. It's like garam masala. I know the garam masala is one of them. I want to say paprika, and then there's like a special chili powder, Kashmiri chili. I didn't get that because they don't. That's kind of, you got to go to the special market for that. So I just use regular. It's a lot. It was a lot to make that.
See, I noticed each spot. Like the funny thing about pizza, you can't just buy any type of pizza. If they're a good spot, they might have only specifically this type of pizza that's good, like your pepperoni or your margarita slice or your
that's true. That's another thing I was thinking.
Like artichoke pizza, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking that too.
Artichoke pizza. If you want to gain weight, that's the way to go. I don't know how anybody could finish that slice in one sitting. Like I never could. Maybe once at my all-time fatness, I could say I managed
it's
to
like
eat.
a pretty strong flavor.
Yeah, it's a lot on it, but I'm not I wouldn't ever eat that pizza like, hey, I want to go get a slice. Nah, I'm not doing that. That shit is crazy. That is for drunk nights, and then drunk nights really make the pizza business boom even harder because you could guess. See, I remember going in the city after the club. There used to be a lot of fire spots of pizza, just random spots, like around 34th Street, and even $1 pizza at that time will taste good, but the enhancement of alcohol,
Right.
you might not think this is really
alcohol,
what it is.
They got all sorts of spots now. They got crepes, like because my area is like the kind of like nightlife capital type shit. They have crepes. They got the Bell Fries. If you saw what happened with them,
No,
that was the place that they trashed.
Oh, what they
Like some girls
was fighting.
Some girls, they were mad about how expensive the sauce was, and then they just completely trashed the place. And
Wait a minute. How expensive the sauce was? Wait.
Yeah.
So wait, the sauce is sold separately or something? Like how they know
I
what the
think
sauce
It's one of
costs?
those things where you get a free sauce, but then if you want more, you got to pay extra.
Oh,
It's one of those.
okay. Yeah, I tend to never come back to your business if you want to charge me for extra sauce. That's how I do it. But so they
And,
wanted more sauce, and then
They just completely trashed the place. They all got arrested. One of them hit a police officer. It was a whole thing.
what was their ethnicity?
I want to say Hispanic, so-called Hispanic.
Oh, that's what it
I think
looked
there might
like.
have been one so-called black chick,
Oh,
but yeah,
voila.
yeah, they. So yeah, it's like there's a high concentration of craziness. Because you got the bars, you got the drug addicts, you got the homeless people, it's just so many things.
Are the homeless people really that much of the craziness? Like they keep to themselves, from what I've seen, unless they screaming in the middle of the street.
They do that, but it's like for the most part, everybody keeps to themselves.
Yeah.
So.
I would say the people who's considered regular are crazy the most. They doing the most stupid shit.
You say that, I guess.
Homeless people contribute to the crime rate like regular people do? No, I don't think so. But
I don't know. I guess it's up for debate, but
yeah,
I guess it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, okay, maybe the homeless person is just in more of a position to be held accountable or something. Like they're in a more vulnerable position. It's kind of like when like these crazy people who have no humanity, like they'll stab a homeless person or like do some crazy stuff like that because they feel like they're not going to be held as accountable.
Yeah,
like lighting them on fire and all sorts of weird.
Or
stuff
that bum fights they used to do.
Yeah, because it's kind of like the same reason a lot of criminals will go after working women. Let's call them, because they know, well, what are the odds anybody actually cares about this person? So.
Yeah, those are the regular people in society who's causing harm to other people.
Yeah.
They're fucking up the crime rate. I always heard about this spot, Don Pepe's Pizza. I never went to it, but
I never went there either.
It's supposed to be slapping. Like I heard I think I first heard about it like in Entourage. That's when it was like, yeah, we gotta bring out one of these. What do you call that spot? California. Like, yo, if the pizza's seriously that good,
you're
not gonna. It's not gonna be the same.
I want to try that the Detroit pizza place on, I want to say 23rd.
Oh,
23rd and 8th.
I heard about this Detroit pizza, but is Detroit pizza not just like artichoke? Because it's like
Nah.
I mean, the way the size of the pizza is, it's like they do deep dish.
Oh yeah. It's like that. But it's kind of like a special. And I went in there once. I was gonna buy some, but they're like, you have to buy a whole pie. I think they might do individual slices now.
Okay.
But there's a lot of places where like you have to buy a whole pie. That could be good. That could be a good thing. Because
But I don't. I've seen people in New York always talk shit about Detroit pizza, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Lion. Lions and Tigers, Square Detroit. That's what you was talking about.
Yeah.
Make me want to try some of this stuff. Talking about all this pizza, but can't even be touching all that right now. That's mad grease. Like, I want to see a picture of this, but no. Oh yeah. You know what is the real hype? Like from back in the days, because I went to school all the way in Bay Ridge. You ever heard of a spot called LMB's?
No, I haven't been. haven't been out in Bay Ridge that much. So
LMB's was like one of the biggest pizza spots I know. It's, when I mean overrated is not even the word for it. it's yeah, that pizza is not. They have like one of their main pizzas that people be hype about. What do you call this shit? It's like a square slice, and there's no cheese on top of it. It's just mad tomato sauce and
like the cheese is underneath the tomato sauce or something.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I think. But it's that pizza. I had it one time. I was like, all right, this is okay.
I think that's like Chicago style. I want to say.
Yeah,
I had that before. It's all right.
It's not it. The way people was like raving about it, but of course, all the people who was raving. See, this is how it looks, right?
Yeah, I've had something like that.
The people who's raving about it, so a bunch of my white friends.
There you go.
Mostly Italians, and I was like, yeah, nah, this is not special. This is actually a downgrade from regular pizza.
You know, what you call it had a documentary. I want to say Vice, where they kind of breaking down like the a lot of pizzerias' connections to organized crime and shit like that.
Oh, like the old mobs.
Yeah. So it's like
it's a good way to launder money, and pizza tastes great.
Right.
So you'll have a good meal.
So a lot of these places, they're probably just popular just straight up off some, some underhanded kind of stuff like that.
Or could be an honest person coming up with a business plan like, hey, we're gonna make money selling pizza because people buy pizza at all times of the day. Like Ray's Pizza, right? The one I'm talking about. It's 24 hours. And they also have like a deli setting.
Where is it?
It's what is this around? I keep forgetting the specifics of it. There's even a spot called Not Ray's Pizza. They pizza's decent too. Yeah, so yeah, they right here on 3rd Avenue and 8th Street.
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah, their pizza's always good. I would say they keep it consistent on having some decent pizza.
I have to check it out.
But the real king of these pizza streets, it's the chains.
Domino. I was just gonna say Domino.
Yeah, like Domino. What they say in the future that it should just be Domino's is gonna be like the last food businesses that is just gonna be delivering. And I've had Domino's. Excuse me. I've had Domino's in different countries, and they kept it consistent. Even with whatever is going on in,
that's kind of what it comes down to.
Different for water or whatever it's made with. They kept it consistent.
So you know what you're getting. That's
safe
like
bet.
It's a huge part of like food. Like I'll be like, damn, I kind of want to try this spot. This looks interesting, but if I go to Burger King, I mean, I'm having the same exact.
Oh well, you result to those type of situations for, I think, when you're drunk, because I mean, like, all right, I need something to eat that's solid. That all right, this is decent enough. I know I don't know this country like that. I can't find, a certain amount of food. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to Domino's, but then I don't see the Papa John's in all these other countries or Pizza Hut. So it seems like Domino's is really winning out here.
Right.
They
certain businesses. I want to say Starbucks is one of them, where
Yeah,
they got that global presence.
they do, but they don't really give you that much food. They really just people on coffee,
Yeah.
that drug.
Yeah.
People, I don't understand why that's not a Class A drug.
Because it gets you working, and it makes you like happy. It's like coffee is not a drug that threatens the system at all. It actually fuels it in a lot of ways.
Mm.
So Bill Hicks had a joke about that too. He's like, yeah, you want to know why the system hates alcohol? And well, actually, it doesn't hate alcohol. It's kind of like love hate with alcohol.
Mm.
But certain drugs, and it's like, yeah, coffee is the one that makes you a productive slave.
Oh,
So.
okay. There you go. All right. So being a part of the system of rotating the wheels, that's what they want you. to All right.
I mean, if we want to go left, it's like marijuana. I really think that's kind of what's responsible for like the allowance of marijuana, at least in the United States. Now,
Coffee?
the growing allowance is just it's just like the fact that it's not as much of a threat as it used to be. It's like, yeah, we want you to have the munchies and scratch your balls at home all day
And be catatonic,
and,
right?
yeah, and just be laughing for no reason. And it's like, yeah, that's what we want you to do now. So
Yeah, keep stuff in your face and overweight and yeah, all this bad eating because of marijuana. People don't pay attention that you can't really be on a good diet because the self-control you got to have during taking marijuana is not there. I don't know. Like, I know people who said they took marijuana and they lost weight because they would just play basketball all day high and not eat. And I'm like, yeah, I remember I used to play video games when I was a kid. I could play all day and not eat, so I didn't need marijuana to not eat. That's
it's like everybody varies. Everybody has their way of being. Like, I think a lot of people are just naturally fat or naturally skinny. And like it's because of their mindset and their habits.
No. Let's not slip over that one because that was real bullshit. People naturally fat. No, you're not naturally fat.
Because of just their mentality and personality type shit. It's like they're always gonna kind of gravitate.
But you can change it, so it's not natural.
Yeah, but what if that's just who you are, man?
No, that's not who you are. Because if you got put on a desert island, you ain't gonna be that person no more, are you? Right? It's
all right. So I guess it kind of comes down to like, okay, if you have the abundance and you have the availability of food, what's gonna happen? Like if
yeah, I mean, so discipline and self control is not what everybody has. Not everybody could just walk by and see the cakes and the cheesecakes
right.
and be like, oh man.
So could that not be something that's kind of like some people are just predisposed to? Sort of like they kind of say the same thing about alcohol, where it's like
it's temptation, and people give in to temptation a lot.
Like I could walk past a bunch of delicious food and just be like, whatever, let me have a drink.
Yeah, there you go. You could do that. But there's people that be like, oh, you know what? What's that? Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory is big. They really, and I've only had them probably once, and I was like, yo, wow, they should have slapped it.
I've been there once. Yeah,
they cheesecakes and all the different type of cakes. I'm not even a cake fan. I don't really even.
Yeah, I don't like cake or.
But cheesecake, they should slap, and I could see why a lot of people be, yeah, we're gonna be in here like every weekend or whatever, and they obese. Some people know how to maintain. Hey, go work out. Don't eat this much food, even though through genetics you might be able to intake more of this type of poison than other people can. But for people to continue to give into what do you call this, temptation, that self-discipline might just not have been taught to you when you were younger.
Yeah, that's another factor, your upbringing, and just what you're brought up to do, and I guess your circumstance, because like you said, if you were in a desert, it's a different story. There's no fat people in certain places.
Or you can just be in a for alcohol, right? There's dry towns still out here in America. You can live in a dry town and you got to drive out of state just to get yourself a bottle of alcohol. And I don't know if it's certain.
I wouldn't live there. I just wouldn't live there to begin with. Get the fuck out of here.
All right. But hey, if opportunity presents itself, hey, you can have an easier living, earning money, not doing whatever, or doing whatever you like, and it's just a dry town. You taking that option?
No. I'd rather be. Damn, that's. I almost said something really sad, but I was just. I was gonna say, yeah, I'd rather be drunk and broke than rich and sober.
Oh, I didn't say. I didn't talk about being rich. I talked about being livable, a good livable situation that is like up to standards for how you want to live while being entertained. But you know. The addiction to alcohol. You're an alcoholic, right?
You could say that.
Oh, right. Don't worry. This is not a safe place. The abyss.
It's like, yeah, I've always been like open about that. But at the same time, I just feel like me drunk is like better than most people sober in terms of even just my basic functionality and awareness and all that stuff. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
You can't see the,
and it's just honesty, you know.
I mean, the feeling it gives you that must be nice. I mean, I remember times I think about when I used to get drunk, and I'm like, yeah, those are nice feelings, but that's not lasting, and that's detrimental to the health. But you know, it's on how long you want to last, or what health problems you got to deal with in order to, you know, maintain your drunkenness.
Yeah, it's like. Like one of the terms I think about all the time is self-medication. So that's kind of like one of the, you know, quote, like psychological terms.
Is that really self-medication?
From a mainstream, like psychological perspective, yeah, because it's essentially fulfilling the same purpose that these, you know, big pharma drugs are supposed to fulfill, you know. So yeah. It's in that sense. But I don't subscribe to any of that to begin with. But I just it's something I think about, like, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, you pass a liquor store, right? Can you not go in it?
I wouldn't have to because I already got my stash. I just wouldn't have to do it.
Getting busy on it. Oh man.
But if I was
your stash is gone.
If I was stranded and I saw one and I was like, I would have to get. I think I don't
like your stash. You buying a gallon, right, of liquor, right?
I want to say about that, yeah.
About that, how much is that gallon costing
you? Like basically what I do is, you know, the 175th, 1.75.
Oh, 1.75. All right, how much is that?
That'll cost. One of those is like 25.
Ooh.
And because it's Everclear, so it's like.
Yeah,
so it's going a much longer way.
I wasn't trying to give up the name of that, but all right.
It's going a much longer way. So I'll go through that in like a week. I'll try to make it last as long as possible.
Like people who stretch out their weed, huh?
Yeah, so that'll come down to like about $100 a month type, you know, because I don't want my liquor bill to be too high.
Ooh, big spender.
Just go broke.
$100 a month.
That's nothing as far as like. You know, the habit itself and maintaining it.
It's a difficult habit to maintain. I mean, I've seen people die for this shit, but people who will be on probation or something still come, like, you have a probation where you have to be here sober, right? And you know when the appointment is for it. People will still come in drunk. Like, they can't, like...
Yeah, they can't stay away from it.
Could you, would you be categorized, like, around that type of...
How long would it have to be? Like, like a few days, right?
No.
That you have to be sober?
You just got to be sober for the day.
Oh, yeah.
People on probation who have, like, DWIs... if you're a part of a like certain programs is like they'll either monitor your drug by your blood or by having an ankle bracelet, or you just come in once a week.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it for one day a week. Yeah, I could be off for like 1 day a week because I've been kind of like testing my ability to be sober throughout the years.
Why you don't want to be a sober person?
There's just no reason to be. Like, I don't particularly care about my health. I did have like a little health phase where I was like, damn, I should probably, worry a little bit about this. But I never really particularly cared about my health like that, to be honest. And then there's also like it helps the day go by, to be, again, to be honest.
Nothing productive in the day.
Yeah, bored. And just like unhappy. Just like, this will make me feel like okay for a while.
Temporary happiness is what you're chasing, like
stereotypical.
Yeah. Everybody does
like,
that.
Drowning your sorrows, as they say. So yeah, it's like it's a cope, as we call it in some circles. It's a total cope. Everybody needs a way to cope, and usually, not usually, but like a lot of times.
I don't think everybody needs a way to cope. I think some people just need to, just deal with the shits. Like,
I don't think it's that simple. Everybody has.
It's not that simple. But hey, either you get over the shit and get shit done, or you just continue to be bitching the rest of your life. Like that's what it is. Like either you're gonna become someone who can overcome that situations,
some people would say
or
that,
no.
Some people would say that in and of itself is a cope. Like that idea of overcoming, and it's like you don't really overcome shit. You just cope.
No, you do I think you do overcome shit still, but for you not to just be like, all right, you're drinking for your boredom.
Largely,
it's like, and people do that, but it's like, all right, you need to implement something to occupy your mind. You just can't just be there not doing shit all day. So with drinking, it does pass the day much faster and you're in a better mood. But if you just in the crib all day chilling, not doing shit, this shit is depressing.
It's a combination of things, so it's like
why don't you want to be sober?
Because there's nothing. So like I say, going back to the whole concept of cope, where it's like, if I stop drinking, like let's say I stop drinking for like, which I can, I've done it for like a few days a week or something like that. Eventually I'm going to get so like bored that I'm going to be like, damn, I want to drink. Or I'm going to get depressed and I'm going to be like, damn, I want to drink. I'm eventually going to come back to it because it's like there's nothing that's going to fill the void of being drunk.
Nah, pizza does.
Pizza ain't that good.
You haven't been to the good pizza spot. You've been going off of bad recommendations. Oh man.
But food itself has never really it hits. Don't get me wrong. Like food can really hit sometime where it's like, damn, like this is like improved my day.
Yeah.
But nothing has ever like transcended alcohol for me so far.
Oh well.
I mean, aside from maybe like women.
I don't know if I could say anything transfers, what alcohol does for you, but for me, I'll say food. Enjoying food is something I like to do a lot. Like that's why I got this fat.
Yeah, everybody like I was saying, everybody has their vice. A mutual friend of ours, is the one who I kind of got that from. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
who's the mutual friend?
K.
Oh.
Yeah.
K. Wait. I don't got no KY. I don't have no friends with a KY.
The guy that got you into One Piece?
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought his name started with a C. I could have swore. But, alright. Damn. Wait, he got you into drinking?
Nah. I got me into. Actually, no. Like, when I was bored, in the house, I used to watch shows all the time, and there was like people drinking in the show.
Oh, so wait, why you don't smoke cigarettes? Because this is the same.
That's funny because they were doing the same shit.
You was watching Mad Men or some shit.
Exactly.
Oh man, I watched that show too. It was a good show.
It's all right.
It was when the times were good. It was
a little dull.
Yeah,
like
of course.
I wanted more. It was just like people talking.
Yeah, you know what?
Like that.
That's like shows like that is like, hey, let's see if we can do a show where we don't have to include so much diversity in it. That's what I see when I see about throwback shows like that.
Yeah,
shit. Even though I like Game of Thrones, but that looks just like the same thing.
I've actually been rewatching Game of Thrones for the second time.
Oh, I probably haven't. I watched it.
It's
over
funny
twice,
how you
probably.
watch something again and you just start noticing stuff you didn't notice before. Like I'm like, wow, like literally every actor has blue eyes. and then there's the scene. There's that cringy ass scene where spoiler alert. She freed all the slaves. You remember that?
Who, Khaleesi?
Yeah, and like literally every slave is brown.
Oh yeah,
they're like holding her up.
Oh, you talking about when her husband died, the dragon or something?
Yeah, her husband died, right? And
his people were all
they joined her.
Yeah,
right, and then they just started going
his
around.
His people wasn't black, right? They all looked like they
were like brown Arab. Like they mostly seemed to gravitate to Arab.
Yeah, it didn't look like they were just black people.
Yeah, and there was like one or two black people you'd see, but and so she started going around and just like liberating all of the slave cities because like these cities just have a bunch. They exist because they have a bunch of slaves, and it's like there was one scene where she freed one of the cities, and all these brown slave people just like were calling her mother.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then they held her up in a human pyramid. It was just like, wow, what the?
Yeah, they really be psychologically. I don't know what the writing be in some of the shows, but that should just be like, hey, let's act like certain people are gonna be gods, like they really doing the Lord's work or some shit. But for me, I seen that show. I don't know how many times I rewatched it, right? There was a time when I did rewatch it and I was like, damn, this shit is not as good as I thought it was. And then there was a time I'm like, oh, this shit was really good because they made you wait so damn long for certain shit. It didn't feel like it was this long. And then I'm like, all right, this ain't as good as it is. But now I'm still waiting for that whole season to come out of this prequel or whatever, I can start watching it.
I've been watching it.
Don't spoil it for me, please.
I like it better. It seems like the main creator has more of a hands-on thing with it.
What?
It's funny because I read all that.
This is
shit.
What's weird, right? I heard the rumor of they ended Game of Thrones because he was going to take. I mean, maybe I'm mixing this up with Lost, but. The director was going into making some movies or some shit, so they wanted to rush it. So the ending of Game of Thrones, that shit was trash. Yeah, right? For most people say, I liked it.
I liked it too, but it's like I do agree that like it got like the show got worse and worse with every season, kind of, and it was just like you could see how it's rushed.
How you gonna say it was?
Like shit was rushed. But,
yeah. Shit got rushed. Shit got rushed.
But it's funny because I actually like read all the shit, even like.
Oh, you read the books?
Yeah, and some of the side story like that. Like the new season or the new
prequel.
Season. Yeah, I actually read that too a long time ago, and so that kind of changes your perspective on certain things. I think on like how they handle it.
They put the Starbucks coffee in the last episode.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's like, oh, this is good promo. But when I watched it, I didn't see no coffee. But
yeah, of course, it's like you.
There's some people who be faint out for this shit to be like, oh yeah, there's a little fuck up here.
Yeah, it's like I'm like that a little bit. I'm like, oh, you were about to laugh when they were shooting the scene. Like I'm just good at spotting when somebody was about to laugh, but they're just like, fine, we'll just use that cut.
I mean, editors ain't the best. I mean, if you watch something long enough, you over and over, you'll find the
It's like I said, you see something different every time. Like,
no, that I could say I probably wouldn't even try to rewatch that show because I feel like it'll get even whacker. But I did like what's his name at the end, the daughter of
oh yeah,
she killed the many face gods, whatever. I like she became Christopher Columbus in the ending, but that show, I don't know why they even came up with a prequel, but
he already had that. Like,
why didn't they just put out like something of a new generation? Like, yo, let's see what people's kids do.
That would be a lot because he didn't even finish the main books.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So wait, is the director's not the writer of the books? Oh, the books ain't even done.
It's like because they're making so much money. It's like the directors still have some room where they can be like, yeah. So you already signed over a lot of stuff to us to where we can do this. This is our thing.
But they wasted a lot of money on the last season.
Yeah,
they wasted a lot, and I was like, for the amount of money I heard y'all spent on this, yeah, this is some bullshit. Like, y'all didn't need to spend that much money.
A lot of the scenes are just too dark. Like, you can't what's going on. Like, what were they doing? They just wanted to put something.
Your artistic factor in that was garbage. Like, y'all thought y'all was doing something with that people could barely see the fucking.
I think it's just lazy. Like, it's just like, well, not lazy, but
no. They wanted resources. To be. They wanted to be artistic in they shit. That's why it's like, oh, this is supposed to be the dawn, and this is supposed to be. No, this shit was trash recorded. Like, you should have. It needed to be brighter. It needed to be a better light.
It's like, maybe they're not, but it's like, you as a person in this position, you have to be smart enough to know that the audience is not going to be able to see this. So it's like, maybe they just feel like, damn, it will be so hard to record this where you can actually see everything because it wouldn't be as nicely. At least if we make it dark, they won't see anything anyways. Like, that's kind of what I was thinking. Because then it would require so much more effort to shoot something that the viewer can actually see. You know, so then you don't have Starbucks cups in the background, and like, it's like so much goes into it, into
the wasting of money,
and into just filming a movie, a production of that level.
I used to think I would do it, but I might make a movie one day, like record a whole movie, and it's a lot of work with.
Yeah, you think this is work?
Yeah. No. I really broke it down, and I was gonna make a movie, but I just never like. I just looked at it. Yo, what's the easier ways to do this? Like, should I make a TV show? Should I make because it's about the writing. I could do the writing. I could do the directing.
A web series.
Oh yeah. I was thinking of doing that, but I always think about what's the separation and what does it take to make it.
You just need.
It's too much of a headache to do it, and it costs money.
It's so many things so many gears that need to spin.
Yeah,
like, that's kind of.
But it can be done with shit. You can shoot a movie. There's movies that shot with an iPhone now, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, now things are getting a little cheaper to do. The acting. It's hard to find people that you want to just do an independent film with, and people who will be like, "Yo, you doing a movie? Yo, let me be in it." I'm like, "Yo, bro, you don't know how to act, or yo, there's nothing in here for you. You're a headache." But then I'm also thinking about I will eventually do a movie because a movie will be easier than a web series. Or I was even doing well, I ain't even gonna say what else I think about doing because I might do it and I don't need people jumping on the idea. But to take into your account of shit, I lost my thought where I was going with writing movies, but it's easy to learn. I'm not gonna say I am gonna say that it's easy to learn how to write a movie. Someone who specifically Sylvester Stallone, right? He broke down how he came up, how to learn how to write movies, and how he wrote Rocky, which was straight off. I think it was writing the whole script of The Godfather. Like, he watched The Godfather
and then he tried to recreate it.
Yeah, okay. And he studied movies like that. And that's how he wrote Rocky. And I was like, oh, all right. So, you got like about 12 scenes or something like that within the movie. I forgot what it is. 27 scenes it might be. 20 different cuts. So the breakdown of what you need in a movie and how to structure it, it's like, it's very simple. The information's out there. I've studied it, but it's like, if we're looking at the only difference I try to think about is when a movie goes from looking like some low budget shit with just the way people interact and cut to the next scene. That's the only difference I've seen with like major production to, like, we're not talking CGI shit, but just major production to like some independent film that's low budget. That is the key part of.
Is what, like how they cut to the next scene?
How people talk to each other. Like the views of, all right, I'm talking back and forth with you a whole conversation. The camera every 3 seconds might switch to someone else's face, switch back, then switch to a different angle of looking at me. That's the key difference I be seeing. That
like how it's shot.
Yeah.
That's key, because there's a reason that like soap operas.
Yeah.
You remember like Days of Our Lives? And,
I used to think those were some horrible acting.
Cause it's like, it's usually just like the camera angles. Like that makes
it moved. Like it moved weird to me.
Like as I got older, I realized like, damn, like that's really what's dragging this down, this production down. And but sitcoms.
But that's how they needed to do it, and they've run 30 years, and that worked for them. They
because they got people invested in a different way, not necessarily because of how well it's shot or all that stuff, but because of like the storylines.
It captures people in a different way versus how we would watch a show where I'm like, yo, no, I can't watch a show like this. Y'all guys is moving weird. So yeah, that's where
same thing with sitcoms. Like sitcoms capture you from the humor, and like you might get invested in certain characters and storylines and. But it's like the actual camera work and directing is like, it's very simplistic. It's like they're not going that hard on that. But for a movie, since it's so much of an investment, it's like, yeah, they go harder with the cinematography.
Yeah, I am going to do it eventually, but getting into skits was one of my things of like thinking of doing, but I was like, yeah, I'm not here to entertain people. But it is for a bag.
It takes a lot of things to click all together. It's kind of like I guess like a basketball team. It's like not every player needs to be the greatest player in the world, but like you need to, like the average of every player together needs to be enough. Like every piece needs to be. You don't need to have the best writing, best actors, best directing, best like cinematography, best. Most money, like I mean, but it needs to be enough. Movies. It needs to be enough of everything together on average to like bring it up to a certain level of quality.
I mean, the USA team was the best ever, and that quality was great. So, but you can't see the best writing, right? I don't think there's a such thing because it's all
subjective.
Yeah, it's not measured. Even if someone gets it from some award show, that is not.
It is complicated though, because on one hand,
you can.
There's certain people where it's like they're probably experienced enough and they're skilled enough to know, like, all right, like they can envision the words coming out of this person's mouth. That's why oftentimes like they'll get a specific actor, like I need such and such for this role, or we're not doing this movie because I can only imagine this coming from such and such. It's like that's how they're envisioning it, and that's their writing. Like they're putting all the pieces together. They're considering every little component. Again, all the pieces working together at the same time.
So see, even with what I could say, hey, the writing is like there's a million good writers, Yo, Samuel L. Jackson's movies be good, and he has over 100. He's probably the most.
Like the movies that he's acted in, right?
Yeah, he's probably the most, and it's not the same writers. Most of the time, it's going to be a different writer, different production. He has the most movies of all time. So it's like, there's just a formula to do, and someone can do it. Like, what is it? M. Night Shyamalan, right? The one who did The Sixth Sense, and then after that, everything else he did was trash. Like, they was like, yeah, let's throw millions of dollars his way, and he keeps giving you trash movies, but that one movie just popped for him, right? So it's like, yeah, you did one movie that was fire. One of Bruce Willis, great actor. And then after that, everything else you do is garbage. It's not like your writing changed. It's not like your production got bigger. You got more money, and it's like, hey, maybe you just burnt out,
or maybe he just caught lightning in a bottle one time.
Yeah, that too.
And then, like, it just kind of fell off from there. He couldn't get the same magic. I do think that happens. Or he also just maybe got whack. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'll get that bottle of lightning just now. I'm gonna show everybody. I'm gonna put this movie out. It's coming in 21, 22. The movie's gonna drop. So I ain't gonna be here to see it, but yeah.
What?
I said
we've been recording the movie this whole time.
Yeah. You think that's air you're breathing?
Huh?
Nah. Oh yeah. The reference from The Matrix. That's what he says to Neo when he starts breathing heavy after he was fighting him. And he's like, "You think that's air you're breathing?" That shit is just running. Oh man, but it's funny. All right, dead noise.
Hey,
the next shit I was gonna talk to you was ending this podcast here at this point right here. So we'll do the next episode after.
All right. Oh, okay.
It's about that time.